Yeah, well, I tell you, I think now is the time for us to start to kind of try and put things together. I think it's important that we take all the pieces that we have and start to develop some continuity as a unit. And I think more importantly, the quarterback has to feel comfortable with all of his guys, not just a few. So training camp is the time for us to really work on working together as a unit.
How excited are you to do that with this group?
I'm really excited. I think, we've had a lot of time to pontificate on all the different things that we can do with the pieces that we have. I think now is the time for us to really get out on the field and see what we're about and work together and grow together and work out some of the kinks. That's normal that you expect to have in training camp.
Do you agree with the thought that you have an abundance of weapons?
I think we have a lot of guys that have field credibility, and I think that's important. I think, it starts with our quarterback, and he's continued to improve as a pro, and I think he'll only get better with the guys that we have around him. I think you look at the two veterans that we acquired, in Frank and Andre, and what they've done over their career, along with the young guys that we've already had in place. I think the sky is the limit.
Is there a pressure to think this team has to light up the scoreboard?
No, not necessarily. I think, our goal is to always score every time we touch the football. But at the end of the day, that's a bit ambitious, I must say. I think it's most important that we play good Colts football. And what I mean by that is we got to be smart. We can't turn the ball over. We can't have foolish pre-snap penalties. We have to go out and execute at a high level all the time. We have to consistently go out and execute, and we feel like we can do that.
The offensive line's been, something that's plagued you guys in terms of having a set of 5 guys like that. And, now you have some moving parts. How critical, when you think about all those weapons you have, is your offensive line in that whole equation?
I think when you look at, you understand the attrition that's a part of this game, but when you look at what we've been able to do as a unit, the O-line unit, with all the injuries and all the things that we had to deal with and overcome over the past couple of years, I really do feel like we have a resilient bunch, a talented bunch, and they're tough and they're smart. And regardless of our inability to keep, the same 5 guys available to play over the course of the season, we understand that that's part of the game. I think we haven't made any excuses. We found ways to overcome that adversity or any adversity that we faced with any specific, with any offensive group over the past couple of years. So that was I have no issues with our offensive line, and I think they're going to do a great job.
How many guys do you hope to rotate in?
5. I hope there's no rotation.
Is it a little strange for a man of your maturity to check into a dorm, or does that keep you young?
No, I think you talk about team building. It's really good for us to be in an environment where we can, really spend time together to work on coming up with a big picture plan of what we need to do to win our first game, but ultimately have success over the course of this season.
That's real. That the bonding and the chemistry that's built in a camp is real.
Without a doubt. I would argue that the coaches and the players, we spend over 20 hours together a day.
You talk about all these weapons that you have. Knowing that, what is your biggest goal in training camp?
Our biggest goal in training camp is to just make sure we eliminate any uncertainty that anybody may have in what it is that we're trying to do. And we have tough, smart players, and they're going to have all the time in the world to really work on studying their playbook and mastering their skill set. So it's just to make sure that we're all on the same page and there's no uncertainty with regards to what it is that we're doing.
The question's asked to some of the offensive skill guys, do you worry about getting yours? Is that a challenge in your mind to spread the wealth?
Oh, no, not at all. I think over the course of what we hope to be a 19-game regular season, not regular season, but of course including the playoffs. We hope to have an extended season. I think there'll be many opportunity for guys to make plays for us, and that hadn't been an issue in years past. I don't see it being an issue as we move forward.
Thank you very much.
All right.